I covered some of this in the first hour, but the bigger news issue is that on every front, people don't buy either political party now. They're finally shattering the left-right paradigm in a very, very big way. And the Democrats have now seen the House and Senate versions that are in conference. Both are very bad. Jail time, 5 years in prison, $250,000 fines if you don't buy the insurance, and they take money out of your check, and they tax better insurance plans. You know they'll phase that into everything. Plus, it's unconstitutional. It's discriminatory. Both versions of the bill, and they're leaving it in there saying, leave certain states out, leave scores of big labor unions out. Their employees don't have to do this. The rest of the public does. They become like little lords and little duchesses and little dukes and little kings where it's all selectively done. We saw that with Obama. If you were a Democratic contributor, you got to keep your General Motors car dealership. If you weren't, you didn't. That came out on the House floor. And that's public. If you're a globalist and contributed, he'd give you billions to move the factories overseas. And it's been like this with presidents before him the last few decades, but it's now coming to a head because they're going for broke and they don't care. And this bill raises taxes by at least $500 billion in the next 10 years. That's conservative. It's more like $700 billion they're reporting. 41 billion Medicare cuts, 30-something billion Medicaid cuts every year. The taxes go up, the benefits go down. It gives immunity to the insurance companies and doctors and big HMOs to not give you care. So it has the government coming in with these panels of non-doctors deciding and setting policy for everyone. We've seen it in Canada. We've seen it in England where you get rationed for health care. Tom Daschle wrote the original bill. He wrote a book calling for it. I mean, this is the reality. This legislation is bad. And, I mean, to say bad, that's not even a strong enough word. But then we have the Associated Press where other labor unions that aren't exempted from it, they're getting angry. They were fine with something immoral for other people, other businesses, corporations, private companies, private individuals. But they don't like it that they're not exempt. Labor angry over Obama-backed insurance tax. Labor leaders are pushing hard on President Barack Obama and Senate Democrats to drop a proposed new tax on high-value health care plans, warning of politicians and political consequences. The White House has indicated the tax may change so it hits fewer workers, but it's not going away. And then now we've confirmed in conference they're just going to exempt some people from it. Continuing, raw story. Dodd, health reform bill hanging by a thread. And he goes into saying the Democratic Party, people are exiting it. They're panicking. It may not even pass. But see, they did that foregone conclusion saying, oh, it will pass, no way to stop it, so you wouldn't lobby against it. But there's still time. The states also are saying they're going to fight it. It's unconstitutional because certain states don't have to do it. Other states do. The feds can't do that. That's up for states to decide. But the interesting thing is, you read these Democrats on Raw Story, and what are they all saying? This morning there was 30-something comments, 36 comments when I printed this. I'm sure there's more now, but I read every comment, and they all disagreed. It's not just liberals and labor unions. It's everybody with an ounce of sense. This bill is so bad, if anyone can cause the Democratic Party to lose control of what they call control of the House and Senate. And it goes, if the Democrats pass this love gift to the health insurance industry in the Senate, they will lose massively in the 2010. I'm a lifelong liberal and will not tolerate this sellout to big insurance. And it's the same thing on every stinking comment. They've broken the paradigm. All they're going to get from Washington is rape and robbery and pillaging. No matter what party or what they do, it's all a scam. Stay with us. Coming up in the last segment, I'm going to post at prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com some amazing new video. We can't play it on air, the audio, but we can play the video. So that is coming up. So stay with us for that. They said they were going to post it on Infowars.com and prisonplanet.com. And I've seen the link from Prison Planet Paul Watson sent me, but I can't see it in the tiles of the top stories. So we'll try to get it up on Infowars. .com as well. Instead of using IM, I'd use telephone with the guys to try to get some confirmation from them. People texting, people, there's a report where children, teenagers only use 800 words a day now, when the average person uses tens of thousands. Children as young as 3 can't talk now in the U.S. and England from television and computers. And I've even caught it in my office now. Everyone just IMs and emails, and then stuff just falls through the cracks, where if people just pick up a telephone or talk face-to-face, there'd be clear communication on it. And I'm not criticizing anybody. We also have a lot of remote people that work in other parts of, England and New Mexico. Getting back to the news here, Dodd, health reform bill hanging by a thread. And the Democrats are properly addressing this. That is, the Democrat constituents, people calling themselves liberals. They're saying it's a health care takeover, a scam, a fraud, a looting, raising taxes and cutting benefits. But, of course, you never get something free when the government robs another group. They keep it. There is no free lunch. Don't you get it? Now, the right-wingers are attacking this from the wrong perspective, saying it's commies that want to run our lives. And, well, they want to run your lives, but they're not commies. They're big banks. They're big insurance companies who can go write unconstitutional legislation to make you buy their overpriced insurance or put you in prison if you don't, and then cut the quality of your care. So the left's got it part right. The right's got it partly right. Ladies and gentlemen, get out of your left-right paradigm. But the good news is Senator Dodd, who says he's leaving the Senate, says on his way out the door, retiring Senator Chris Dodd has some bad news for health reform advocates still cheering the late December Senate vote. Healthcare reform is hanging by a thread, and 1 or 2 votes could determine the outcome of the heavily debated bill, Democrat Senator Chris Dodd told CNBC Monday. The cable business news network reports. Dodd said you would have to be living on the moon not to know that senators have already gone on record with having issues with the plan, citing Nebraska's Ben Nelson, Connecticut's Joe Lieberman, and Senator Blanche Lincoln from Arkansas, because they know it's political suicide to go for it. Everyone feels, I guess, to some degree, who have been for this, that we would have liked something different, and that it's not uncommon when you're considering an issue of this magnitude, he said. If this is all about surviving politically, then we're missing the whole purpose of what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, destroying America. So the point is, they all know that people are wise now. That's why they tried to keep the bill secret, remember? That's why it's in secret conference committee now, what they're doing with it. Our supposed free society, the immigration bill 3 years ago was secret. We got it, total amnesty even for felons. And they could bring in 6 of their family members. On and on and on. Everything is a fraud. No bid contracts. The media says, well, it should only be American companies that get the military contracts. That was a red herring. It was only American companies. It was no bid for other American companies. See, it's just everything is spin and fraud. But the good news is this giant lie is coming down on its head in a big way, and the people are finally getting it and finally understanding what's happening. On another issue of a big awakening that's taking place, we got the secret MIAC report and the Homeland Security report that listed gun owners, conservatives, returning veterans, libertarians, anti-Federal Reserve people as potential terrorists. There's a big article Paul Watson wrote today at prisonplanet.com. Obama's TSA nominee targets anti-government Christians. Targets anti-government Christians. And then it has the video clip of him saying it. And it's got him in his TSA uniform down at the bottom. And try to pull that article up and see if we can. Obama's TSA nominee targets anti-government Christians. So we can just show people the image of this guy before the show ends. And they are mixing in people that don't want bigger government, Christians. Just like Janet Reno told 60 Minutes, people who believe in a second coming of Christ are mentally ill cult members and terrorists. I mean, that's a quote. These people are the weirdos. These people are the ones that want to demonize freedom of religion and assembly in this country. And he says the main focus is on Christian conservatives. So, these guys are just right out in the open. Also, government documents have been released by the Electronic Privacy Information Center, EPIC. And Mike Adams at Natural News, we have this up on Infowars.com, reports TSA lies exposed. Full body scanner machines do save and transmit images of your body. Secret documents reveal. Well, of course, that's how the government's posting and sharing these. They say they record your body. They biometrically scan you. So I thought I would get into that.